fuzzy, so you're gonna see me wipe it here. Hold up. That got fuzzier. The heck is going on? All right, we're gonna get this legit clean. All right, well, that's the best I can do right now. But hey, what's up? Good morning, everybody. 9 a.m. on a Wednesday, and we're gonna get into, as you probably know if you've been following some of my lives, that I've got stuff I got to get doing today. So we're gonna compound it. We're gonna have a live as I'm getting warmed up. I am going to hit the. I'm going to the gym here after this, so getting that in early. Um, as as you may or may not know, I'm a big fan of, especially for men, getting that in early before you get your day going. Meaning, before you start sitting down or getting after and getting to whatever you need to do in work, that you move your body, you do something physically because that's such an important part. But today we're talking divorced dads. So if you're joining me and you are a father, you're a business owner, you've been divorced, hey man, welcome. And you're not alone. So let's just call that what it is. Because here's the thing: it's a challenge. Men isolate as it is. Business owners isolate. It's a lonely journey. And guys who have been divorced, maybe they're single fathers, they isolate as well. And I found this to be a big issue for me because as a man who's been through two long-term relationships, I've got children with two different people and two women that I've been in a relationship with that I'm no longer with, and there is a stigma, a shame, a guilt that a lot of us men hold on to, and man, it's just unnecessary. So, and what I found was, here I was going through this, and five of my closest friends were in similar situations. They were divorced, single fathers, either a business owner or high level executive, and we didn't talk about it. We didn't have conversations about what was going on, what we were feeling. What it was just, we'll figure it out. We'll do it on our own. And gang, I've struggled for many years with tendinopathy, Achilles tendinopathy, and tendonitis. And so I'm using a roller here. Just if you're curious what the heck's going on, I'm using a roller here to warm them up versus stretching them. So getting them fired up. Anyway, I it's a lonely journey. So this is a safe place for guys who've been through that. You've been divorced. It could have been yesterday. It could be it's coming, or you're years down the road like me. Nonetheless, fellas, safe place for us to have this conversation and explore like what is next, because it doesn't have to. There is plenty of content, plenty of information, especially if you're as a guy, maybe you've already looked at it or found it online in social, of groups of brothers, groups of men coaching that are all about like save the marriage, uh, uh, make your relationship thrive, how to balance your business with your marriage and your kid, which is great, all fantastic stuff. Except that sometimes for some of us it didn't work out. So now what? There's very little playbooks out there for, okay, what's the next step? You tried to make it work, it didn't for one reason or the other, and now you've moved on. So I'm just stepping up and saying, all right, well, if I can be of resource, if I can be of help, because it's been many years now, but nonetheless, been working on myself and this scenario of, okay, now I'm on my own. I have a business, I have children, and I have a life that I'm rebuilding. That's the thing that so many people miss, is that you got to take care. You're rebuilding your life. You don't have a partner anymore. Maybe you've remarried or things of that nature. But I appreciate. Thank you, saying hi, man. I appreciate you joining. And you're rebuilding, and you forget that because you get, okay, shit. All right, I need to. I got to keep the business growing and thriving. Maybe you've had to lose some of your cash in the business in your divorce. Maybe, you being a single father now you're trying to balance how to navigate fathering on your own or parenting on your own. And we forget about ourselves. And this is so important that that's the priority. Yes, you have responsibilities in these other really key areas, but the priority has got to be you. And we don't do that as guys. We don't make ourselves a priority. And thus, things begin to crumble, they fall apart, or they're, we become a version of us that is riddled in shame and anger and pain. And we're fumbling through life now, surviving versus being, reaching your highest potential, creating freedom in your life, and attracting a new partner in your life that's aligned with who you are, not who you are now. Because coming out of a divorce, I don't care how long it's been, if you haven't done the work to heal yourself, then you're just showing up as the same old guy that was in that same old relationship, running that same old business, treating your kids the same way you've been treating them. So it's a shift, but it's focusing on building you first. So anyway, I am here as I just want to interject here really quick. I'm here as a resource. You got questions, by all means, lob them in here. You can also go to cletuscoffey.com, book a call if you want a free session, you want to connect, you want to explore what is happening for you and what potential next step and action plans for you could be. I'm here. I'm a resource. Leverage me, because I've been down that road of, okay, I want to keep my business growing. I want to build my empire. I want to grow my wealth. I want to I'm a big fan of taking care of my body. I want to be fit. I want to have a challenge physically. And I want to find a new partner. I want to find someone that is aligned with me, with my soul, with what I want to create in this life, and have someone that can complement that. Been down that road of attracting women that were mirroring back to me the pain and the shame and the guilt that I had for myself. And no way, no thank you, don't want to do that again. Again, not that they're bad people, it's just the relationship based on who I am and who they are just wasn't good alignment. It was not healthy for myself, for them. And so I don't want that anymore. I want somebody that is grounded, is healed or healing. They are safe, they're ease, they're intimate, they're sexual. Like, I want that woman in my life. I know so many dudes want that as well, except they're coming from an unhealed, a broken part of themselves, and thus are continuing to attract the same old type of woman, just a different face, and wondering what the heck is going on. What's with these women? What's with the women these days? There's women on the apps and all this stuff. And it's like, no, bro. It's you. It's you. And I, getting myself first and foremost to, man, the piriformis is a bitch. Getting myself to that place where I could change my frequency, the way in which I was showing up in the world and attracting the right people, the right partnerships, the right opportunities, the right clients. That takes some work. And it takes really as I've identified, three key steps. Number one, you have to burn down the old version of yourself, because who you were in your marriage prior to getting divorced is not the same dude that's going to get you to where you want to be. And what happens is a lot of men look at their circumstances and they look outside of themselves. Oh, here's what's going to happen. If I just go make a bunch of money, then I'll attract a super hot young chick. She'll be super peaceful, and she'll be super sexual, and I'll be I'll be the man. And it doesn't work that way. Or all I got to do is just attract the right woman, and then I'll have peace of mind that I can then grow my business. Or once I hit it big, or at least get money coming in consistently, then I'll have time to spend with my children It's all it's all looking outside of themselves, and that is a pattern of continuing to stay stuck, continuing to stay mediocre, average, and it's not going to get you to where you want to be. So I know for myself, the burn phase was uh, it's painful. That's why we call it burn because it's painful, uh, but it's necessary to be able to burn that old version of yourself. The second phase that I've identified really is once you burn it down, now you got to build it back up, but not just building externally. It's an inside out game, and that's where you can build from that place. That's where the real wealth starts to come. That's where you do evolve as a man, as a human being, as a father, as a business owner. That you begin to attract the people and the opportunities and the clients and the money and the women that are in alignment with you, that are going to complement you. But if you don't know who you are, it's going to be a big uphill battle. And it's just think about it. I mean, you've seen the stories, or you probably know the guys who make a ton of money and they get divorced, and they're in pain, they're hurting, but they're not showing it. And so they're not seeing their kids, they're overweight, they're getting sick. So they got the money, and so people think they're successful, but they're not. That's not a success. We want to be successful in all areas of our life. And there's 5 key areas that most men want to be successful in. They want to be successful in their money, their fortune, want to be successful in their relationships, or they're in their family, fathering and so forth. They want to be successful in their body and their fitness, in their focus, which is like their emotional intelligence, their mindset. And then the last one is foundation, a connection to a higher power. Men want to be successful in all those areas, but what happens is, this is the key, uh, guys go all in on the fortune side, the money. They go all in on the money, thinking that, oh, okay, let me get that narrowed down. Let me figure that one out, and that'll take care of the rest. The problem is all those other areas are an anchor, and they're holding you back. So you may get some quick wins. You may have some transactional opportunities when you make a little bit of cash, but in the long term, it's not sustainable. Nor, and ultimately, what's going to happen is there's going to be a snapback, and the snapback is you get sick, boom, all that drive that you were going to make some money comes crashing back down. You get divorced, snapback. You get estranged from your kids, boom, snapback. It the snapback effect happens so much for men because they're just so and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's how a lot of us have observed men in our lives. It's how we've observed men in society. That's how you are valued. You're valued based on how much money you make. You're valued based on the the quality or the growth of your business. You're valued with the things that you have, your nice car, your house, the private school you're sending your kids to. That's how people see you and value you. And that's just not true, man. That's just not how things are. Uh, that's short lived. Uh, Appreciate it, brother. Welcome back. Yeah, appreciate it. Uh, that's just not how things are going. So burn, build, and the third one is being. Being. So many, myself included, so many of us have gone through this process of wanting to experience freedom in our life. And so we think, if I make some money, that'll give me some freedom. If I meet the right woman, that'll give me freedom. If I am, successful in my business, that's going to give me freedom. If I, you name it, just go down the line, all the key areas that's going to give them freedom. What they're forgetting is that they need to be freedom first before we even have it. You need to be it first. That's how we get into alignment and have the right, I don't get too woo-woo here, but the energetic frequency to attract uh, those opportunities into our lives. Guys, I'm just gonna roll into some hip stuff. So just work with me here. Uh, they're going to attract the right people and the right opportunities that are going to give them freedom. You're not going to find freedom outside of yourself. It's got to start within you. And once you get to that place where you are aligned with freedom inside, you are it, then you start to experience it outside. So the whole nucleus for what I like to focus on is leaving a legacy of freedom. It's not just about freedom for yourself. Break the generational trauma, the generational uh, blockage of having to live chained to a constraint that you came into this world with. My father was not free for a long time. He was bound by the prison of alcohol. His father, the same thing. His grandfather, the same. It was a long line, and um, then the lack of freedom because I observed my dad having to hustle day to day, 9 to 5, trying to make enough cash and money to rebuild his life and stay afloat. So we I want to be able to leave a legacy as a father, leaving a legacy for your kids of freedom, showing them what freedom looks like, what they can experience, so that they can experience that level of freedom, and then they can share it with their children if that ends up being a thing for them. So it's all so burn, build, and being. We need to be it first. And the reason why we end with that is really, we want to be the torch bearers, the example of what is possible, so that when people are like, "Dude, you're killing it! Like, what's going on?" It's not like, "Yeah, it's because of my business." It's because no, man, I've become the love and the wealth and the fitness and all those things first. I have to become it first before I can actually experience it. So the last part is being. We want to be it. That way we can experience it. And really, this maps towards the whole idea of we're human beings, right? So we're human beings. I'm going to raise this up here. We're human beings, and on the human dimension, that looks awfully terrible with the light. On the human dimension, that's where all of the stuff like business, career, jobs, money, uh, relationships, those all live on the human dimension. On the being dimension, that's where fulfillment and happiness and joy, uh, love, all those things live on the being dimension. The challenge is we all try to crush the human dimension, the human world, which just makes us human. I mean, I'm not saying you don't work for those things, you don't go after them, by all means, but you cannot enjoy and experience the things that you're creating in the human dimension if you're disconnected from the being. Hope this can resonate, because only in the being space can you really find fulfillment and love and joy, happiness, all that. So once you've connected to the being side of being a human being, then you can actually appreciate the car that you've worked so hard for. You can actually enjoy the vacation. Man, you know how many times men that I work with that work their asses off, go on this super dope vacation, take their family out, and they don't enjoy it. They don't get to experience it because they're so stressed about, oh my gosh, how much is this going to cost me? Or I got stuff going back at the office. I can't really be present. Those types of, or the disconnection because they've been working so hard, they're disconnected from their spouse, and they go on vacation thinking like, oh, I'm going to have some fun. We're going to drink, or I'm going to get laid. I'm going to do all this. But because of the tension leading up to it, there's disconnection on the vacation, and thus they don't get to really enjoy their partner. They don't get to have the fun, the sex, the whatever it is that they want to create for themselves, to experience out there. So they did it on a human dimension. They got the dope vacation, but they don't get to enjoy it and experience it because they're misaligned. So the being section is we need to be aligned through this process of rebuilding us as men, as fathers, as business owners, so that we can enjoy and experience the things that we're creating. So I hope that makes sense. Burn, build, being, those are the three phases. And, if you're divorced, fellas, uh, I understand that there's a lot of uncertainty and unsure of like what's coming next for you. And what a great place to be in, what a great place to operate from. I'm going to move over here. What a great place to, uh, to be able to create from, because it's it's a lonely journey. So, but understand that as a man who's been through something challenging like divorce, that is, it's just the beginning, and everything that has brought you to this point was for a reason. You may not see it yet. You may be in pain if it's relatively new, but nonetheless, it's for a reason, and the the greater good is unfolding. You were supposed to get divorced. You were supposed to learn to be on your own, to heal parts of you that were unhealed in that relationship, in that life that you were in. You needed to heal parts of you. So let's not get in divorce and just say, "All right, I'm pissed off. I'm gonna go jump on the apps and I'm gonna go have a bunch of sex. I'm gonna be this party man, or I'm just going to hole up and not talk to anybody and feel a lot of shame and guilt. Whatever direction you go or in between, it's all the same. It's coming from a place of unhealed brokenness. So we we don't have a playbook for this, fellas. The guys who've gone down this road, they're driven, high performing business owners, got divorced on their own, scared, lonely, having to do things like pick up the kids. Maybe they hadn't been having had to do in the past, those type of things. And it's it's uh, it's not easy to get your head around and step up. It's uh, do not let it. Don't miss this opportunity. The lesson of you rolling out of a divorce or losing your business, or whatever it may be. You had to pay her off, or paying alimony and child support. There are lessons in this that you are to learn to grow to become the man that can create freedom in his life, or reach your highest potential. Do not miss these. I spent far too much time uh, in a fetal position in my couch, pain because I no longer got to see my kids every day, pain that my ex and their mother was bringing to the table, which was really me. It was a pain I was bringing to the table, and just being triggered by it. I spent far too much time in that space. It's a waste of time. If you can, yes, grieve it, and now get into a space of, okay, where's the lesson? Where's the opportunity for me to grow and learn? Which means, depending how early you are on in your divorce, please, it's not time to go out there and find somebody else, to look for things outside of yourself. It's not time to be drinking and trying to numb yourself. It's about growth. You were given this opportunity for a reason. There's a lesson in it for you to learn. So, with that being said, go learn that lesson. If you need help in learning that lesson, obviously you've got the channel here. Hit subscribe, fellas. I can continue to provide more content for you. Please let me know what questions you have. I've been through this road a couple times, and uh, working on building myself and building other men. Remember, there is no playbook for this. So let's create one in this community to help other dudes going through this. And relying on men. And what I said in the very beginning, for those that weren't here, I found myself in a scenario where five of my closest friends were all divorced, entrepreneurs or high level executives, single fathers, and we didn't talk about it. And so let's not let other brothers go through this alone. Let's help support them. Shit, it doesn't work out. It didn't work out. The relationship didn't work out. You tried to save it, or you didn't try to save it. You got out, whatever it may be. Now you're out on your own. You're trying to figure it out. You want to thrive. You want to grow your business. You want to Be an example of possibility for your kids and maybe for others. And you're trying to do it alone. Do not do it alone. That's not the path to it. That's not the way to get out of darkness. Trying to do it alone. You need to light your own light. I call it becoming the torch. You need to be the light for yourself, to lead yourself out of it. Nobody's coming to save you. I still remember the time I'm up in Seattle and I'm in front of it's a dark, rainy January night. I'm in front of a hotel. I am in a terrible situation in my life. I'm in a toxic relationship. I My business was almost non-existent. I'm a single father, and I was like praying that somebody would come save me and like literally pluck me out of my car and come save me. And nobody came, and nobody is ever going to come. You have to be the torch. You have to light your own path. Now, here's the cool thing. When you do, it's like moth to a flame. You become aligned with who you really are, the true you, and who you are meant to be, the man, the leader, the father, the business owner. And like moth to a flame, that torch, because you already got the fire, brother. It's in you. It's just lying dormant. So the fire is in you. It's just you haven't tapped into it. Once you tap into it, in the way that's authentic, the real you, people start coming to you that you wouldn't attract normally. Women that you wouldn't normally attract are coming, are finding you. You are finding them. You're finding one another. Business opportunities, customers, partnerships, because you've changed. Not that you've done anything outside of you. You haven't had some slick marketing campaign, some social media posts that drove it to you. You changed. Your energy changed. And thus, people are feeling you and seeing you different. The right people. So I'm going to end with this. Stop showing up as someone you think people want you to be. If you're out there looking for a new partner, stop showing up as someone who you think these women want you to be, with your slick watch and your car, your social media followers. Enough. That is not a long-term transformational plan. So you literally need to become you, become the real you. And by doing that, the right people. We think that if I'm the real me, I'm going to look weak. I'm going to be exposed. Uh, the right woman isn't going to come to me, or the right business opportunity. It's a story that you're telling yourself. It's a story that I told myself for a long freaking time. My last name is Coffey. I told the story for so long, showing up as somebody inauthentic, that people thought I owned a coffee company, because my first name is unique, right? Cletus, my last name is Coffey. How many times I had people go, oh, what's the name of your coffee company? Why? Because I wasn't clear. My energy was showing up all jumbled, off. I wasn't clear. I was afraid and to show up as me, and it confused the shit out of people. So showing up as the real you, which takes work, fellas. It's not just saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna show up as me. No, it doesn't work that way. You gotta burn the old version of you down and rebuild it from that place of truth and authenticity. And that way you can build an empire that's aligned with who you are and where you want to be. It doesn't happen overnight. It can happen quickly. You could try to do it on your own, and that takes a long time and a lot more pain. Or you can connect with a group of people that have maybe are just a couple steps ahead of you and can see some of your blind spots. Because as men, we've got fog, so much fog in front of us that we can't see the opportunities. And so if you can learn to understand your blind spots, then you can clear that fog and you can see what's real and what's truthful. So that's by being part of a group or brotherhood that can help support you do that. If I and the Be the Torch community can be that for you, we would love to be able to do that. A couple ways for you to get in the community. Just subscribing here would be a great way. You get more of this content. Another way, if you go to cletuscoffee.com/book a call, you and I get on a call, free conversation. Let's just map it out. See if I can support you. See if we can introduce you to the brotherhood and the programs that we're doing. See if it's a fit for you. Great. If not, perfect. Whatever. But at least we're having these conversations, because right now you're isolating. As a man, as a business owner, if you've been divorced, maybe you're a single father, you're isolating. Stop isolating. Jump on a call. Let's just see if I can help support you, or at least give you some insight as to what would be a strategic next step for you, or if our programs are a good fit for you. Great. Join the brotherhood, be the torch, and let's become the men and the leaders and the fathers and the partners that we are called to be, that we are meant to be. And that's when life starts to really take off. So anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you coming here at our 9 a.m. call. It's 9:30. I'll let y'all get on into your business day. I appreciate y'all being here. Go ahead and hit subscribe, and I can help support you with more insight. Book a call with me, cletuscoffey.com/book a call. I'll put the link in the description. Let's chat. Let's make it happen. Have a great day, fellas.